In the far-off land of Asgard, home of the Asgardians, the trickster god Loki has spent time trapped in a tree, so put there by Odin until someone would shed a tear over him, thus freeing him from his prison. Having taken partial control over the tree, Loki causes a leaf to fall from its branches as the god Heimdall is walking past it. The leaf lands in Heimdall's eye, causing him to shed a tear, unknowingly freeing Loki from his prison. Now free, Loki begins plotting revenge against his half-brother Thor, and uses his mystic link to Thor's hammer to track Thor to New York City on Earth. Appearing on Earth, Loki takes on immortal guise and goes to the hospital where Thor was putting on a show for sick children, but finds that Thor had just left. Unable to find Thor in the teeming millions of people, he decides to flush the thunder god out by casting a spell that makes people in the streets turn into negative images, thereby causing a panic. In his civilian guise of Donald Blake and out with his nurse Jane Foster, Thor spots the problem and slips away to transform himself into his godly form. Using his Uru hammer's mystical properties, Thor manages to change the people back to normal. As he is being praised by the crowd, Thor is approached by his half-brother who reveals his true identity to him. Seeking to take their battle to the sky, Loki is really setting up Thor for a trap, and easily hypnotizes his opponent. He commands Thor to hand over the hammer, which Thor refuses due to the will of his father Odin. Try as he might, Loki cannot get Thor to give up his hammer. Eventually Loki succeeds when he creates a mystical duplicate of Thor and tells his thrall to hand it over to the double, which Thor does willingly. Loki then commands that Thor go to the zoo and let all the animals loose. What Loki doesn't account for is the fact that once Thor is away from his hammer for more than 60 seconds, he reverts back into the form of Donald Blake. When this happens, Blake is free from Loki's control and manages to get past a group of people trying to lift Thor's hammer, unable to do so because they are unworthy of wielding it, changing himself back into Thor. With his plot foiled, Loki attempts to escape under the cover of a flock of birds, however Thor follows after the God of Mischief. This leads to a battle across the city where eventually Loki tries to escape on an animated statue of Pegasus. Thor finally stops Loki when he manages to trap him in a pipe, knocking him off his horse and into the bay. Quickly capturing Loki, Thor takes him to the top of the Empire State Building where he uses his hammer to hurl Loki back to Asgard before Odin for punishment. After his hammer is returned to him, Thor reverts back to his Donald Blake guise and reunites with Jane Foster, who is once more gushing over Thor's exploits.